So thank you for it.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm
Thank you.
satisfied on that. Thank you. No one's to be heard on this one either, huh? I think what happened on that other one, I think you announced it 5-0, and I wasn't looking at the screen. That's what happened. Passes 5-0. Any citizen want to be heard, please come to the microphone and state your name and address if you do.
Hello, my name's Jacob Moose, 3632 Green Avenue. I spoke to the Treasury Department and the city and also in the county. I purchased a property. So my wife and I, we live on 3632 Green Avenue. We built there about 1.5 years ago. We bought a double lot, split it, and put 2 homes there. And then we won through the sheriff's sale the lot adjacent to us. At that time, it had shown that there was a previous demolition that was pulled in 2020. We had bought it in 2022 for $4,500, a little less than $4,500. The demolition was showing that it was pulled for $6,650, but it wasn't showing anything on there for the sheriff's sale. And when we went to redeem it, it had added on just under $17,000 for demolitions for the housing to take down the previous house that had been gone for, I believe, 2 years. We would really like to build on this lot next to us, the same house that we built. We feel the houses have improved the street a lot and have brought in and will bring in a lot of tax revenue. The houses, there was a house where we were before too that they tore down, and so now there's 2 houses there. They're 4-bed, 3-bath homes, and we would like to build the same home next to us, but it's not really feasible having a $17,000 special assessment added on to a pretty small lot. The lot is assessed at $4,000 currently. And so after talking to Ms. Bertrand and a couple other people in the city as well, and we talked to the inspection department, they also talked to legal. They advised that we come here to request an abatement of the special assessment that was put on that lot.
Do you have an abstract company look at the abstract before you made the offer to the county?
We did not.
And you weren't alerted to anything about that, or?
You got to do a title search is the problem. The sheriff does, sheriff's sale.
Yeah, I don't know anything
They don't
about
do a
it, so.
title search, which is the problem. We need to
If
put,
you're using a lender, they usually have somebody do it unless you pay cash, then.
let's have our city attorney look into it and get us some sort of an answer. Do you have his phone number? Is it, give us your phone number.
Okay, yes.
And you don't do it there,
Yeah,
just
you can just
wait
write
till
it.
after the
Yeah,
meeting
yeah,
or
just-
come up and write it down. You don't
Just
have.
give it to her after.
Because this is broadcast, you don't need to do that.
And we did, they talked to legal and they said that we would have to come here and request that you vote to abate it and possibly do an agreement of if we build on the lot within so much time, it will
Sure.
be abated. But that is what legal, from the city legal had told.
I'm the city attorney. I'm sorry, I'm not aware of this
We talked to,
situation.
is it Dennis in
He would,
You talked to Dennis
Daryl.
Butler in the county.
Yes, and he said that he contacted city legal and he called me back the next day and then told me that I would have to come here.
Just come up after the meeting,
Okay.
get Nicole your number.
and I
And then-
apologize, I have not talked to Dennis. It was not brought to my attention, but we can discuss it further.
All right, thank you.
And then she'd be able to let us know what we can do and what those next steps.
And just for the general information is that it's already been spread. I would imagine it's already been assessed to the property. So the council would have to take action to take that back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know.
try to get you an answer. Thank you. Anyone else to be heard? Mr. O'Kane.
What a storm. So Sioux City Schools, 2-hour late start. South Sioux City Schools, snow day tomorrow. The 14th, we've got our MLK celebration at First Congregational United Church of Christ. I have 2 different times for it, though. I have 5 or 6. 6 is when it starts?
6 o'clock?
5 if you want to be fashionably early.
Yes, and make
Okay.
sure you point out it's Sunday.
On Sunday,
It's on
yes, it's
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Not on Monday.
Monday, I'll be,
It's Sunday, the 14th.
Probably 5 o'clock if you want to go up and be in the choir like Dan does once in a while. You
Yeah.
get there early to practice.
we aren't all blessed with this.
I know. I just thought I'd tell you that in case you were interested. Is that
That's
it?
everything. Yep.
Julie?
I've just got 2 short things. Snow removal, I think the city did a great job, city staff, so thank you very much. Just kept coming down, but I think they stayed ahead of it, especially on the routes that were needed. Everyone be patient because the snow is not going away anytime soon, and it sounds like we're going to get plenty more with the winds. So I sold a snow blower a week ago to a guy who drove an hour and a half to get it, and he texted me today, he was very thankful for it. So that was just on a side note. To go back to something that Alex said about the Agape in their recovery facility that they're proposing, it is a hard decision for council when we have a group of people who would like us to vote one way, for something that they would like to see go their way. And I'm glad that we understand that they really just don't want it there. And it's not that they don't want it for the city, they just don't want it there. But oftentimes, as a city grows and develops, sometimes those are the hard decisions that council has to make. And I do believe that this is a good location for it. It's not plopping it in the middle of downtown where it's super populated in different places, So something that I just deleted out of my photos today someone sent it to me, and it said, cities that avoid change to keep a few people from being upset today ensure that everyone may be upset tomorrow. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind. We don't always do things that make all constituents and all residents happy today, but it's for the greater good, so sometimes those are the tough decisions that we make. And I want everybody to remember that.
Well, and on that same note, that Hope Street now is in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and they fenced it off. I got to tell you, I'm probably more offended that they fenced it off.
When it was Schessler Hall, it wasn't fenced off, and they did fine.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that particular, what they're talking about in Hope Street are very, very
Similar,
They're
yes,
intensive
yes.
programs
Yes.
that have a high success rate. But we can't talk about mental health issues and alcohol, substance abuse and all that and not have programs to solve those
Right, we've
problems
got to have
that
programs.
exist in this community.
Right, and I think we have to understand that this also helps with our homeless issues.
yeah.
It really does. It gives them long-term care. They're under that umbrella.
Right.
That's absolutely needed. And I won't argue that, and that's why I voted the second and third reading.
Right.
But I do think that the concerns regarding where it fits
Yes.
into our ordinances and our zoning were valid. And now, if somebody proposes to put something up next door to anybody's home, really, that gives a clear avenue for it.
Right.
But I wholeheartedly believe in the mission. The first person I messaged was Daniel Bittinger to let him know that I think that our community needs it. We need more things like this. We need more treatment options.
Mr. Waters.
I would just echo something that Julie had just mentioned and commend our streets department. I know that, no one wants to be out and about in this type of weather, and I assure you, a lot of us behind this bench up here would have probably rather the meeting go a little shorter today just to get home and get home safely. But I know that there are a lot of people that are less fortunate than that have to be out in this weather, whether it's protecting our streets or our people, fighting fires, doing a whole range of things to make sure that our community continues to run. But I would just really commend the streets crew for doing everything that they're doing to make sure that people are able to navigate the streets as safely as possible. When campus closed today and I was going home, I was really pleasantly surprised at how clearly plowed at least the major artery streets were getting. So I really, really appreciate that. And I know they're going to work their way into the neighborhoods to be able to clear those streets. So I just want to thank them for their efforts. Along with that, I continue to harp on this, and I want to just remind folks that it's their responsibility to clear the sidewalk out in front of their home or business. I would just ask people to stay on top of that. I tell you what, I mean, now that I drive, I don't utilize the sidewalks quite as often. I'm just more on campus or around my house. But I will say that it just really bothers me when I see kids having to go out into the street to get to a bus stop, or people waiting in the street because a sidewalk isn't scooped, or, you know, they're not able to navigate that safely. So please remember your neighbors and the kids in your neighborhood that are going to have to get to school if it's 2 hours late or otherwise. Far too many, at least I know that I witnessed around town, were left that way. And so I just want to make sure that we do everything we can.
And there were lots of kids out today. I came up, Stone Park in Grandview was packed with kids sledding. So it's great if they can walk through their neighborhoods and get, you know, across the street and get to where they need to go.
And I guess the last thing I would say too is just with this weather, a friendly reminder to check in on your neighbors. I have a number of different folks and neighbors that, you know, aren't able to maybe get out and navigate this or receive services that are essential to them. So just make sure you're looking after those around you, because I think, you know, that's the whole sense of community, and we need to make sure we're looking out for one another, because weather like this can be really dangerous. That's all I have, Mayor.
Dan?
Okay, a couple of things. Following up on the snow removal, I agree that the crew's been doing a great job. Has our snow emergency worked okay as far as having those park on the odd-numbered side and even-numbered side? Because we got to do whatever we can to make it easier for snow removal for our workers.
I think it's a little early to tell. We'll know at the end of this current situation.
Are we doing the PSAs and reminding them about the odd, even?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And the parking downtown, as far as keeping those clear so we can make the snow removal, that's great, because it just makes it easier for the workers. Secondly, Mayor, the other thing I have is I've handed out to all of you not the downtown infrastructure plan, the warming shelter materials that I passed out to each of you. I did attend a meeting with the warming shelter, some of the board members and officers, and they have asked, and I have received permission from the mayor, who sets the agenda, that we put them on our January 22nd agenda, because we don't have a meeting on January 15th. That's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, although the celebration's held the day before. But I would like to ask that you find time to read through this. We'll have the warming shelter people come to our January 22nd City Council meeting, and I would very much appreciate having them first on the agenda to make just a presentation to council and to the mayor as far as the warming shelter and the need for the continuance of the warming shelter. So it's very important. It ties in with many, many things we're doing. You talk about you don't want this in your neighborhood. We'll have some discussion about that as well. I didn't mean to embarrass you tonight, Rocco, Sock'em Rock'em. I didn't mean to embarrass you, but I thought, the sports guy's coming in to cover our meeting. I got excited about it. It's always good to see you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Mayor and Council, just to add to Dan's warming shelter, it is included as a improvement request. We discussed at the February operating budget hearing as well.
So it'd be good to get this background.
Yeah.
I just moved, we adjourn. I got to go home and push snow in my neighborhood. I can't, what I was going to say
With
anyway.
the sidewalks.
What?
You clear them once. and then they get snow back.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean,
That's what I was motioning with him about. I said, and then they throw.
well, my
then they
street,
throw
you know,
back
it's a
up on the
35
sidewalk.
miles an hour street, so they think they gotta drive 35 and it goes,
Some of the sidewalks are very close to the street.
I'm not going there. Let's just
Mine's
move,
the 45-mile-an-hour.
let's just move to a jerk. You don't have to do your sidewalks like my neighbors do, but.
Second.
Scott. Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
O'Kane.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Get home safely,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Get
Get
home
home
safe.
safe.